This is Ditra matting and it's used for over wooden floors. As you'll have perhaps noticed, our floor is plywood, 18mm ply. That's always screwed at 8-inch centres with number 10 screws. And to show you what the construction of it is, we've got a little offcut of the roll, and this is what it's all about. It's a plastic membrane which has got a sort of cloth background, which you can see here. And that's what we're going to stick to the floorboards with an F54 sticker bond. They do recommend BAL, the manufacturers of this. That's BAL F54. And so it's put down quite simply with a 3mm notch trowel, pasting your adhesive straight onto the plywood, the same as you did tile adhesive on the walls. We have to have a length cut for the Ditra left to right of the bathroom. So it comes on a roll, it won't reach the door. Roll out the first piece straight into your adhesive and tread it in. And if you need to trim any edges, do it with a utility knife and tamp it down with your feet. Leave it to dry for 24 hours and then skim over with rapid adhesive to fill in the chocolate blocks. Let's have a closer look at these chocolate blocks and the construction of this Ditra matting. What you'll find is it's got dovetails on every edge to hold adhesive down into it. That rear side with its cloth back sticks to your plywood or your floorboards. Any movements absorbed between the two layers. We need a hole from outside of the bathroom for the thermostatic sensor for the underfloor heating and the power feed. So we've got to have a conduit in there. It's just smaller than 15mm, so this drill bit does nicely. Nice long SDS, best for drilling holes of this type. So here's a roll of underfloor heating element. We've got the right size for the room, 2 metre, and we need a chase in the wall for the power feed. And I'll just roll a little bit out. Self-adhesive, it should stick down to the backing. Here's exactly where we're going to put the thermostatic sensor. Let's roll a bit more out. So between two of these coils, this is the continuous coil of underfloor heating element. And you cut it and flip it over like that, but you don't cut through the element. So you'll see that again in a second. Here we go. The continuation of one continual coil through the room. Roll it out, another section, pat it down for its self-adhesive stickiness to stick to the smooth skim coat that we had on top of the Ditra matting. And this is the purpose, to stick it, otherwise it'll float up through the adhesive when you're trying to lay it in wet adhesive. So that's why we do it in layers. We don't do it all at once. You'll have problems if you try to do it all at once. So you needed that skim background coat in order to be able to stick the Ditra backing of the matting to it for the underfloor heating element. Do not cut through these elements, cut the backing of the mesh. And fold the roll over like so to concertina the coil through the room. Like so, nice and simple, isn't it? Once you've seen it done. Electricians can charge fortunes for these, when all you need to be is a competent person to unroll a self-adhesive backed roll of underfloor heating and drill a hole through the wall and put 2 cables through a conduit. So that's the competent person side. I believe we're all capable of that. Just call him in to do the final fix and the test to the fuse board. Here's a tip: soft shoes for this matting, otherwise you'll damage elements with hard shoes. So now that's ready for a skim, and here we go. We've got a mix of tile adhesive rapid again. Pour some out. Do not bang the bucket onto the elements, you'll damage the elements. Shake it, but do not touch that floor with the edge of that bucket. Now, here's a plastering trowel. Don't just go like a maniac and get stuck in. Go very slowly. You do not want to cut a single element or damage it anywhere. It'll ruin the whole of the underfloor heating. It will not work. So, slow strokes of the trowel to spread this rapid adhesive to fill on top of these elements. And just like you can see the chocolate blocks through the background of the first skim coat, we're going to want to see the elements just through the background of this skim coat. Again, same as your bucket, do not let your trowel hit the floor like so. That's a big no-no. You'll damage elements. Keep moving around. You can pick a bit of adhesive up, move it into your corners, pulling out of edges, a bit more needed there. When you put your trowel in an edge, a nice tip is to put your trowel in the edge with the adhesive, give it a little jiggle and pull out. Give you a dead straight edge, as you can see where I pull out. It should look something like this when you've given it a skim coat. I've left the heating element area to skim over in the corner because I'm going to do that underneath the last tile just to make sure everything's at the right level. But that's pretty basic and within anybody's capabilities, a DIY. That's the thermostatic sensor in there. It's a tiny black rod and a sensor. The red plug is to stop the adhesive getting into the conduit. It goes here, right between two of the coils. And we said to skim the coils lightly, one, in order not to damage them, but two, in order to know where they are and to be able to see through the coat of adhesive almost, so that we know that we're putting this sensor exactly in the middle of two coils. Conduit in the wall, power feed the other cable through its conduit, saved ourselves a few quid.
The amazing new Studhawk saw guide set. There are two Studhawks in the pack. The Studhawk 90 makes cutting square simple, and those difficult miters, the Studhawk 45 makes them a piece of cake. The Studhawk helps keep your fingers safe and save time squaring a line. Get your Studhawk saw guide set today.